members. We want them to be proactive. We are encouraging all of our producers, and I know the other livestock commodity groups are doing the same thing. It's just a matter of good business to make sure that you've got your paperwork in line.
Jennifer Tyree, Executive Director, Illinois Pork Producers. This is the RFD Livestock Report.
And good Friday to you. It's time once again for RFD Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee.
I'm Rita Frazier. And just how are you, my friend?
Oh, boy. We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned. I don't know if that's a feeling or not, but I am concerned.
Yes.
Looking at some of these river level warnings, I saw the Illinois River at Peoria was going to go from 17 Wednesday, forecasted to 27 feet by Tuesday, which would be the third highest ever.
Mm-hmm.
And the warning they have at Lock and Dam 15 on the Mississippi, they called it historic,
right,
in all caps. So, yes, a lot to be concerned about.
So Blake Roderick seems to be Mr. River. Let's just call him Mr. River, Pike Scott manager, talking to a lot of folks. We're going to have a piece on the flooding situation with Jim Dewey, our buddy from Quincy.
Yeah.
But, yes, cresting this weekend, potentially third, fourth, or fifth highest on record.
On record. Yeah.
On record.
Very concerning. And also concerning about this time of year. You know, how much more is there to go, given an active weather pattern that appears to come through May still. Hey, also, the action request is still in place. You can find it online, farmweeknow.com. But call your state representative. You can call the toll-free number down to Springfield, 888-200-3794. Ask them to vote no on Senate Joint Resolution Constitutional Amendment 1. That's the income tax framework we've been talking about. Plenty to come here on a Friday, RFD, Illinois.
When it comes to our members, Chris Magnuson connects rural routes for you. Chris leads Illinois Farm Bureau's efforts to provide valuable information to our members. He has spent 2 decades with IFB. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
I grew up on a farm with corn, soybeans, and Christmas trees. I've been in ag communication for 3 decades now. My greatest satisfaction has always remained the same, to serve our members.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
As you prepare for planting season, remember your neighbors. Whether you're an applicator, grower, or beekeeper, use FieldWatch to register your farm and monitor for sensitive sites around you. FieldWatch is a free, easy-to-use online mapping tool. Consulting FieldWatch is now a requirement for the over-the-top use dicamba products. Communicating with your neighbors will help you protect your farm and the environment. Don't wait. Go online to fieldwatch.com. Growing agriculture, we grow best together.
We're back here on RFD Illinois. I'm Rita Frazier. First, a River Watch 2019. Our report today comes from Jim Dewey at WTAD, Quincy.
The Mississippi River has risen faster than earlier predictions. The river reached 28.2 feet on the Quincy riverfront by mid-morning Thursday. It was expected to crest at that level early Friday morning. Meteorologist Brent Clare is with the Adams County Emergency Management.
The rainfall that happened overnight was not anticipated by any of the forecast models. We're looking at trend lines through the past few days. One would suggest that we're going to see a higher crest indeed. The rate we're climbing right now, we're obviously going to be higher than 28.2. The question we have now is how much more?
Well, according to the latest predictions from the National Weather Service, the river is now expected to crest at 29 feet at midday Friday, then begin to recede by late Saturday. A 29-foot crest is just over 3 feet shy of the record set in 1993. So far, there has not been a call for sandbaggers as the river River is expected to recede fairly quickly, but as we have seen, that scenario can change very quickly. Hannibal, Missouri, just downstream, is also expecting to see a crest of 29 feet on Friday. Sandbags are being added to the top of that city's flood wall just in case Old Man River decides to defy the National Weather Service predictions. The flood wall should hold back a crest of around 31 feet. Area farmers are also keeping an eye on the Illinois River, which is rising. Sandbagging operations on levees along the Illinois will likely begin next week. I'm Jim Dewey.
Thanks, Jim. Well, as we watch the rising rivers, lots going on in the state capitol. This week's State House report. Steve Bridge, WFMB in Springfield.
It's on to the House for a constitutional amendment to change the state's income tax structure from a flat one to a graduated one. The Illinois Senate passed the measure on Wednesday and set tax brackets along with it. It set the lowest tax rate on the first $10,000 earned at 4.75%. Incomes under $250,000 will be taxed at 4.99%. The highest incomes are going to pay the most. Single filers would be taxed on an income over $750,000 at 7.99%. And married couples would be taxed at that rate on incomes north of $1 million. You can call it a number of things: graduated, progressive, or fair. It's that last word that Democrats like to use, saying the fair tax will give 97% of all wage earners in the state a tax cut. Democrat Senator Don Harmon says when many will pay less, it's a good idea.
If you're saying the flat tax is a good idea, you are protecting the uber rich, not the middle class.
But Republicans aren't so sure. They aren't for higher tax rates for anyone in Illinois, and they are arguing that the new way to apply income taxes in the state will make it easier for Democrats to raise rates in the future. Dale Ryder says it's opening a door nobody needs to push open.
There are a handful who believe that the answer to government's problems is simply to raise taxes. This will make it easier for those who believe that to reach into your constituents' pockets and get more money.
The bill also sets the corporate rate at the highest income tax rate of 7.99%. The bill also passes with companion legislation that would repeal the state's estate tax and a bill connected to property tax relief. It's now headed to the House. If the House will approve it or a version of it, the public still has to get its say, as the state income tax will only change from a flat one to a graduated one if the Constitution is amended, and that question would more than likely be on the ballot in November of 2020. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Steve Bridge for the RFD Radio Network.
Thanks, Steve. Illinois Pork Producers Association Executive Director Jennifer Tyree joins us for a conversation today on the RFD Livestock Report. We talk about messages to producers about African swine fever. Not an issue in the United States. It has not crossed into the U.S. borders. But animal disease preparedness and messages certainly important for the industry, including messages to consumers.
If ASF ever did come into our borders, this is not something transmitted to humans. Your meat is completely safe. And so that's another message alongside the producer planning, is that we are simultaneously working on consumer education about the safety of our product for consumption, and also the animal welfare aspect of it if things happen where we want to make sure to take care of those animals that may be infected with this disease down the road.
Jennifer Tyree, Executive Director, Illinois Pork Producers. Meanwhile, we'll break. DeLoss is back with a 4Fs report. This is RFD Illinois.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Kay Shipman connects rural routes for you. For 3 decades, Kay has delivered important news. She covers everything from legislative issues to the latest in soil and water conservation. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I love covering so many aspects of agriculture and providing readers with the facts they need to make better decisions. I also get to work with farmers and meet new people along the way.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com and Farm Week keep you connected.
All ag.
All Illinois.
All now.
There are a lot of smartphone apps out there, but do they have what's important to us here in Illinois? The Farm Week Now app does, and it's always at your fingertips. All ag, all Illinois, and 24/7 where and when you need it for free. Go to your app or Play Store on your smartphone, hit search, type in Farm Week Now, that's one word, and download it today. Brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau, where we're all about farm, family, and food.
You probably know that growing hemp for CBD is now legal in Illinois, but did you also know that industrial hemp grow licenses are now available on Illinois Department of Agriculture's website? Click there on plants, then click Industrial Hemp. Hemp for CBD net profits can exceed $20,000 per acre. Hemp Foundry in Moni, Illinois' first hemp processor for CBD, is offering rooted female clones to jumpstart the 2019 season. Planting female hemp clones is much more reliable and more economical than planting hemp seeds. Come to Hemp Foundry's open house on Tuesday, May 7th, from 1 to 4, and save $1,000 per acre on rooted female clones. Visit hempfoundry.com for details. Again, that's hempfoundry.com. We're excited to meet you in Moni, Will County, on May 7th. hempfoundry.com. This is your RFD Radio Network 4F's report. Fuel, fertilizer, feed, and food. All sources of essential energy. Here's DeLaw Schonke.
Talking fuel today with 18th District Representative Darren LaHood, who has been part of a bipartisan effort, which includes 17th District Representative Sherry Bustos, on the biodiesel tax credit and its need to return to help soybean farmers and many others in the industry.
My committee, the Ways and Means Committee, will have jurisdiction, does have jurisdiction over this. We anticipate that we'll hopefully have a vote this month on it, and then we'll send it over to the Senate on it. But we're going to continue to raise awareness and educate members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats across the country, that don't understand biodiesel and don't understand the positive impact it has on our economy and the environment.
Representative LaHood said in this case it's not a political issue. It's an issue of getting things done. And they've been able to garner support even in far reaches and certainly non-farm areas of the country.
We had another Democrat from Iowa there, Dave Loebsack, who I border Iowa on the Mississippi River there. He was there. We had another Congresswoman from Iowa who's a Democrat also there. And then we had Sheldon Whitehouse, who's a U.S. Democrat senator from Rhode Island, that gave us a bit of geographic diversity there, too. So, yes, this is not about politics. This is about good policy, and that's why we were all there.
18th District Representative Darren LaHood, also Donnell Rehagen, CEO of the National Biodiesel Board, has spent quite a bit of his career in the fight to keep the biodiesel tax credit on the books. This one has extended farther than usual.
Unfortunately, we've become used to this on and off again, but what we haven't been used to is this length of time that the tax credit was last in place 16 months ago. At that time when it was reinstated, it was reinstated retroactively for the previous year. So our industry has really been going on 3 years without a prospective tax credit, and of course that's what tax credits are meant to do, is incentivize future investment, and it's impossible for our industry to do that when everything seems to be so uncertain.
It checks so many boxes. Just, if all this clean air, all this green talk, well, here's a solution right in front of you.
There's regions of the country and that have recognized that. The state of California is one of the biggest consumers of biodiesel that we have, and that's projected to grow exponentially over the next 10 years for that reason. Now, whether that's the reason you're wanting biodiesel is for cleaner air, or whether it's the work that it does for the agricultural industry or the support it provides for rural economies. I mean, we've got a great story across the board. It's just a matter of the policymakers kind of understanding that this is really a no-brainer, as Senator Grassley said during our press conference yesterday. The biodiesel tax credit is a no-brainer.
Donnell Rehagen, CEO of National Biodiesel Board. Biodiesel accounts for 63% per bushel of the value of soybeans. AAA gas prices. The nation's average regular price was $2.89, 20 cents more than last month, 7 cents more than last year. And diesel price $3.10 was 7 cents more than last month, 3 more than last year. Illinois average price now $2.98, 13 cents more than a month ago, 8 cents more than last year. Diesel $2.97, 6 cents more than last month, and unchanged from last year. Other states: Missouri $2.59 for regular, Kentucky $2.70, Iowa $2.74, Indiana and Wisconsin $2.85 a gallon.
That's this week's 4S report. Tune in next week for all of the latest fuel, fertilizer, feed, and food trends and essential energy information.
More fuel news. More than a dozen oil state senators want the Environmental Protection Agency to reset the nation's RFS ethanol mandate, returning renewable fuel use to less than the 10% blend wall threshold.
Our Washington correspondent Matt Kay reports.
15 oil patch senators, led by Oklahoma's Jim Inhofe, wrote EPA Chief Andrew Wheeler to reset RFS volumes to a pre-blend wall level of 9.7%. Renewable Fuels Association head Jeff Cooper reacted.
The letter that was sent to EPA was very frustrating and disappointing, but not entirely surprising. It's the same message we've been hearing from that crowd for many years.
Cooper says the oil industry doesn't want to give up any more market share to ethanol, but argues the RFS statute was never meant to keep the status quo, and Big Oil knew that from the start.
It was always the expectation in 2007 when Congress passed the expanded RFS that these volumes were going to grow on an annual basis, that we were going to push beyond E10 blends, that we were going to need blends like E15 and E85.
As for the timing of the oil patch senator's letter, just as the EPA readies to finalize a rule to allow year-round E15 sales.
Well, I think the oil guys are threatened by the fact that this rulemaking on E15 is about to conclude. On balance, we do expect that it will allow retailers to sell E15 year-round, and that's what we've been asking for. That's what we've been wanting for 7 or 8 years now. And I think that concerns the oil guys and threatens them somewhat.
The Inhofe letter also comes ahead of EPA's annual RFS rulemaking later this year, when the agency will again set specific target volumes for biofuels. For the RFD Radio Network, Matt Kay on Capitol Hill.
Thanks, Matt. We'll break now for markets and weather.
With the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Friday morning, I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly higher, beans lower, and wheat ending Thursday higher. May corn closing at $3.62 up 2, July corn up 2, $3.70.5, and September corn up 1.5, $3.77 3/4. May beans closing at $8.30.5 down 9, July beans down 8.5, $8.43 1/4. August beans $8.49.5 down 8.5. May wheat closing at $4.33 1/4. Up 8 1/4. July wheat up 8, $4.44. September wheat $4.51 3/4, up 8.5. May bean meal $2.92.40, that's down 3.60. May bean oil $27.23, down 15 cents. In current electronic overnight trading, May corn up 1 1/4. July corn up 1/2. September corn up 1/4, $3.78. May beans in the overnight unchanged. July beans up 1.5. August beans up 1.5, $8.51. July wheat in the overnight up 1 1/4. September wheat up 1 1/4. December wheat up 1.5, $4.69 1/4. In the outside markets, July Brent crude oil $70.75, down 143 a barrel. The June gold contract down 110 this morning, $12.70.90. In the livestock market from Thursday, May lean hogs $86.10, down $1. June lean hogs $92.75, up 152. June live cattle $113.67, that's down 20 cents. August live cattle down 80 cents, 110.17. May feeders $138.97, down 240. August feeder cattle $147.90, down 132. Illinois direct barrels and gilts trading firm on Thursday at 53 to 58. That's the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Friday morning. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather with the early morning ag weather update on the RFD Radio Network for this Friday morning. Daytime highs across the Midwest yesterday were mostly in the 50s and 60s, with a few cooler readings in the north and a few warmer in the south. Most of Illinois did report some additional rainfall the past 24 hours. Some 1/4 to 1 inch rainfall amounts were fairly common, with a few heavier in the south and a few lighter scattered across the state. Early today, some rain is falling in the southeast part of Illinois. This area of rain should move on to the east out of the region today. A drier day is expected across most of Illinois, but a few isolated showers could again occur across the state this afternoon and tonight as a weak system pushes eastward across the region. It does look like most of Illinois will have a fairly dry weekend, although a few showers could linger in the southeast on Saturday morning. Daytime high temperatures over the next few days will be in the upper 50s and 60s across the northern half of the Midwest, 60s and 70s in the south. No long dry periods are seen across the state or in most of the Midwest in the near future. again after some time this weekend with more spotty rainfall. Rain chances will start to increase in the western Midwest on Sunday and will increase farther eastward as we move into next week. It looks like the chance for some significant rain will spread back into Illinois by about Monday and Tuesday of next week, and a stalled weather system across the Midwest will likely bring additional shower and thunderstorm activity during much of the week next week, with off-and-on rains continuing and only some brief dry time. 6 to 10 day rainfall amounts should average near to above normal across most of the Midwest, as well as a large part of the central and eastern U.S. 6 to 10 day temperatures will average below normal north and west of Illinois, with above normal readings forecast farther to the southeast. I'm Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather.
Does the warmer weather have you itching for a weekend getaway? Take your Illinois Farm Bureau membership savings with you.
Farm Bureau members can save up to 20% at choice hotels, including favorites like Comfort Suites, Sleep Inn, Quality Inn and Suites, with even more to choose from.
Call 800-258-2847 or visit the Choice Hotels website to search all the hotels at once and to make advance reservations.
Contact your local County Farm Bureau for your discount code number.
Spring is here and things are buzzing. Farmers and pollinators are working together to help feed us. In fact, 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat exists because of bees, butterflies, birds, bats, and other insects. Pollinators are important to our food system and the ecosystem overall. That's why farmers and those in the agricultural industry are working together to protect pollinators through education, research, and conservation efforts. Visit ilagformonarchs.org to join the buzz. That's ilagformonarchs.org.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Daniel Grant connect rural routes for you. With more than 2 decades of reporting under his belt, Dan is the go-to source for farmers when it comes to commodities. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
I grew up on a grain and livestock farm near Roseville in Warren County. What I love about my job is working with people, traveling across Illinois, and visiting farms along the way.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
From midnight snacks to holiday gatherings, food is a part of our culture that brings us together every day. To make sure we all have food on our tables, Illinois farmers are going beyond planting crops and raising animals. We're making sure the wildlife that helps our food grow has homes too. To learn more about conservation efforts, visit ilfarmersconserve.com. Preserving our water, protecting our land, providing our food.
This message brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau.
That'll do it for RFD Illinois on a Friday.
Hey, let's salute a community.
Sure. How about Darrow?
Darrow. Okay.
Like Barrow or Narrow, only with a D.
Right.
South of Sheldon in Iroquois County. South of John Gooding in Iroquois County.
Hey,
is what that
John,
means.
good morning.
Sponsored by Country Financial. Your farm is your family's legacy, part of your hometown heritage. While you work sun up to sundown to get the job done, we're here protecting the things you love every step of the way. Country Financial. Learn more by visiting countrycrop.com.
For Jim Taylor, I'm